Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever really thought about the sheer power of your mind?
Hmm.
The idea that your thoughts aren't just fleeting wisps, but maybe blueprints for reality.
Yeah.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that, based on the book How to Turn Thoughts into Things by Bo Sanchez.
Yeah.
And the core idea, it's incredibly powerful. You have the ability to make your dreams real.
And the book tackles this through a really interesting blend. It draws on spiritual ideas, practical life stuff, personal stories,
Right.
to lay out what it calls the universe's fundamental operating system. It calls it the law of the harvest.
The operating system of the universe. That's a big claim, isn't it?
It is.
So our mission today is to really get to the heart of it for you, to cut through it all, find the most important nuggets, and understand how this operating system actually works, how it influences, well, everything, success, happiness, relationships even, and crucially, how you can maybe apply these ideas in your own life. Ready to dig in?
Absolutely. So at the core of, everything the book talks about is this one principle. The universe operates like a farm.
Like a farm. Okay.
Yeah, it's governed by this unchanging law of the harvest. It's simple, really. What you plant, you harvest.
Right.
What you don't plant, you don't harvest.
Mm.
Simple as that. And the more you plant, the more you get back. The less you plant, well, the less you get back.
It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? Like plant mango seeds, get mangoes, plant nothing, get weeds, I guess.
Exactly. But the book says this simple idea applies to everything.
Mhm.
Everything in life.
Mm.
And this is where it kind of challenges that whole idea of random luck.
Ah, okay. So it's not just chance.
Not according to this view. The author argues what we often call luck isn't chance at all. He calls it getting ready to be blessed.
Getting ready. So it's preparation.
Yeah, it's the result of planting seeds, doing the work, even if you don't see the harvest straight away.
Ah, okay. So less about winning the lottery, more like setting the stage for good things. That quote really nails it. When the soul is ready, the blessing will appear.
Exactly. It's about that inner readiness meeting the outer opportunity.
Right.
And building on this, the book brings in this idea of the echo valley, or a giant mirror.
Echo Valley. Okay.
It's not just that you get back what you give, you get it back
Yeah.
amplified, multiplied.
Oh, wow.
Like you shout, "I love you" into the valley, and you hear, "I love you, I love you, I love you,"
Yeah.
echoing back, right?
Right.
But if you put out negativity or hate,
Yeah.
well, that's what bounces back even stronger.
So the key takeaway here is the universe is this system, and it reflects and amplifies whatever you put into it.
Pretty much.
Understanding that and choosing what you plant, that's presented as the absolute foundation for success and happiness.
Yeah. And ignoring it, the book suggests, is like trying to fight the operating system itself.
Yeah.
Trying to swim upstream against reality.
Okay, that makes sense. So if we want to work with this system to turn thoughts into things, what do we need?
Right. The book points to two absolutely essential ingredients for real, lasting success. It calls them giftedness and godliness.
Okay, giftedness. That seems straightforward, like having the skills, the ability.
That's right. Giftedness is defined as that ability to turn thoughts into actual things, to make dreams real. It's skill, maybe charisma, inherent power. The book points to people like, Steve Jobs envisioning the iPod, or Warren Buffett having that knack for buying businesses, Manny Pacquiao's boxing talent.
Right, clear examples.
And the core idea is that everyone has this gift. We're all born with this capacity to be co-creators.
Okay, so if everyone has giftedness, this power to create, what's godliness then? And why is it so essential?
So godliness in this context, it's about using that giftedness, that creative power, but using it to serve others.
Ah, service.
Yeah. It's about character, love, service. The book argues that if you only focus on giftedness, you might get success, but it's often short-lived, or you end up feeling isolated.
Yeah.
Real success, the kind that lasts your whole life and brings real fulfillment, needs both giftedness and godliness.
That really hits home with that story, the fable with two endings about Juan Miguel.
Oh, yeah, that's a powerful one.
In one version, he gets everything he wants, instantly all focused on himself, and he's miserable. It's hell, basically, because there's no love, no service.
Right.
But the other ending, the real heaven, it's about connection, building with people, finding joy in loving and contributing.
It's a stark reminder, isn't it, that just manifesting stuff isn't the whole picture. The nugget here is combine your skill, giftedness, with that spirit of service, godliness. That's the path to becoming what the book calls a superstar.
A superstar. I like that. And this is where the book offers a really interesting kind of counterintuitive take on problems.
Yeah, it flips the script a bit.
It suggests problems aren't just roadblocks, but actual chances to become that superstar.
Exactly. The insight is problems create scarcity, and scarcity creates superstars.
Okay, explain that. Scarcity creates superstars.
Think about diamonds. Why are they so valuable? Not because they're easy to find, right? They're scarce. And they're scarce because of the huge difficulty, the problems involved in actually getting them out of the ground.
Ah, okay. So the challenges, the tough problems in your field,
Yeah,
they're actually signals. Signals that there's an opportunity to be exceptional if you can crack them.
precisely. And to handle those problems and rise up, you need those two things again, but really honed. Skill studied, practiced, sharpened,
Right.
and spirit, that passion, obsession, fire, that deep love for what you do. The book mentions otaku.
Otaku, yeah. Like intense focus.
Right, that anecdote about 8 Guy, the masseuse, it captures that spirit perfectly. Her intense, almost obsessive focus on finding and getting rid of Lamig. That's not just skill, it's that burning passion.
She definitely found her otaku. The book does touch on why some people, even with potential, maybe don't become that superstar, though.
Yes, it flags 3 potential traps. One is having the wrong theology, maybe believing, even subconsciously, that God doesn't want them to be successful or stand out.
Hmm.
Another is wrong psychology, like deep down beliefs that they aren't worthy or somehow deserve to fail.
Self-sabotage, kind of.
Yeah. And the third is climbing the wrong ladder.
That wrong ladder idea, that's so relatable. Putting amazing effort into something you're just not fundamentally cut out for.
Exactly. Or where your unique spirit and skills don't really match what's needed or valued there.
Right. The author's own failed food businesses versus Rex Rabillo's finding his perfect niche with buns and pizza in smaller towns.
Perfect examples where he could actually thrive. The nugget is find the right ladder for you, the path where your specific mix of spirit and skill lets you truly excel.
Which leads us nicely into another slightly counterintuitive idea, knowing when to quit.
Yeah, this one throws people sometimes. The book actually argues quitting is often essential for success.
Quitting, but we're always told, never give up. Persistence.
And that's where the book makes a really crucial distinction. It uses this framework. Purpose, your ultimate goal, your destination, path, the specific road you're currently on, and problem, the barrier on that road.
Okay, purpose, path, problem. Break that down. What's the key insight?
Often, the smartest way to deal with a big problem isn't to just keep banging your head against it on your current path.
Right.
It's to make the problem irrelevant by quitting that specific path and choosing a different one that still gets you to your purpose.
Ah, so you don't quit the destination, you just quit the difficult road.
Exactly.
The story of Jenny and Jim Boy illustrates that perfectly, doesn't it? Her purpose was a happy marriage. Her path was trying to get that with Jim Boy. The problem was, well, Jim Boy.
Right. She kept trying to fix the problem on that path.
Instead of seeing she needed a different path altogether to reach her purpose of a happy marriage.
Precisely. The book really stresses that people get stuck when they confuse their purpose with their current path. Or maybe their purpose isn't even clear, so they end up on roads that just don't serve them.
Yeah. The examples given really drive this home, like the friend who quit the path of nursing abroad to focus on building financial abundance through his school back home. Different road, same underlying purpose maybe.
Right, finding a different way. Or the author wanting to start that Catholic homeschool provider. The problem on path 1 was needing a physical school building. Huge hurdle.
So he quit that path.
And partnered with an existing school instead. Same purpose, providing the service, but a different, much more manageable path.
The nugget then is, be totally committed to your purpose, but stay flexible about the path.
That's it. The book puts it beautifully. Be unflinching with your purpose. Be flexible with your path.
Like Peter fishing with Jesus.
Exactly. Jesus didn't say quit fishing. That was the purpose. He said, try fishing over there, lower the nets in the deeper water.
Change the method, change the location. Quit the old way of doing it.
Find a new path where the problems are solvable for you, or where you bypass the impossible ones.
That flexibility, it ties so well back to the law of the harvest, doesn't it? Especially when we think about the abundance cycle the book describes, which is all about giving and receiving.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Giving is presented as the main way you kickstart the law of the harvest to bring things back to you.
So you give and you receive. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed, according to the book. Though, it adds, there can be a season of delay. You might not see it instantly.
Okay, a delay, but it will come.
Yes. And going back to that Echo Valley idea, you generally receive more than you gave. It comes back multiplied.
The author uses his own life as proof of this, right?
Oh,
Especially through service.
yeah, he talks about the huge abundance of love and friendships from decades serving in the light of Jesus' family. That's a harvest.
Right.
He talks about how his preaching and writing skills grew because he was using them to serve. That's growth. And even how serving protected his spiritual life. Like that story about resisting temptation because he knew he had a talk to give soon.
Wow. Okay. But the book makes a really important point about why we give, doesn't it?
A critical distinction. It's not just that you give, but why. Are you giving out of genuine love? That's true generosity.
Yes.
Versus giving out of need, giving because you need approval or you need to feel loved. That, the book argues, is actually counterproductive.
How so?
Well, the story of Mila illustrates it. She gave all these expensive gifts, but she was miserable, abused. Giving from need just creates more need in your life. Whereas giving from love, that creates space. Like the analogy of removing gray stones, the giving makes room for gold nuggets, the receiving to come in.
Creates space for abundance. And the book is packed with these, honestly, almost unbelievable stories about the receiving part.
Yeah, those anecdotes are powerful.
Yeah.
Randy Borromeo's family praying after tithing, and then bam, food appears.
Right. Dishes and ice cream.
Or the friend giving away 1 million pesos and getting 1.5 million back the next day.
Crazy.
And the author's own story, giving away his last P9700 plus another P500, only to find P500 immediately show up again.
Whether you see them as miracles or just the system working overtime.
Right. They're used to hammer home the point. Deliberate, love-based giving creates that space, and the universe, or God, responds, often overwhelmingly.
The book pushes this giving idea even further with the best investment concept.
Oh, yeah. That material wealth is like Mickey Mouse money.
Haha, yeah. Because you can't take it with you, right? The only currency that matters after death is love. Heaven is only one currency, love.
Exactly. It draws on teachings like, Luke 12.33, sell possessions, give to the poor, store treasure in heaven.
But it's not just about the afterlife.
No, the book frames it more broadly. It's about building heaven on planet Earth now, using your resources, your giftedness to serve others, especially the poor and needy, making a difference here.
So impact now, and that idea that your heart follows your treasure.
Like buying Ayala land stock makes you suddenly care about Ayala land.
Right. So giving to God, like tithing, isn't because God needs the cash.
No, it's a statement, a declaration that he's important, that he has ownership in your life. It trains you, apparently.
Trains you.
Yeah, it trains you for greater generosity, pulls you out of that scarcity thinking, oh no, there isn't enough, and aligns you with believing in God's abundance.
Okay. Abundance versus scarcity. Now, this brings us to a really practical, critical rant about applying all this. The book says life isn't just one big bucket, right?
Exactly. It's a collection of buckets. Your marriage is a bucket, family is a bucket, finances, spiritual life, health, career, lots of buckets.
And absolutely a crucial nugget here is you have to plant seeds specifically in the bucket where you want to harvest.
Yes. You can't just say, pour all your time into church activities, planting in the spiritual bucket, and then expect your marriage bucket to magically overflow if you're not putting quality time and effort directly into that marriage bucket.
Makes sense. You reap where you sow, specifically.
And this applies directly to money, too. Financial abundance needs specific planting in the financial bucket.
Which means?
Learning about money, investing, gaining financial wisdom. You have to do that as well as giving generously from the spiritual giving bucket.
Right. It's not either.
No. The example of the woman who served the church full-time for decades but ended up with no money. It's a stark warning.
Yeah.
The book looks at different money styles.
Yeah.
The spender, the non-teeter who invests, the teeter who doesn't, the hoarder.
Wally Waldas. Haha.
Right. And concludes the one who prospers and can keep giving generously is Manny Mapagmahal, the one who gives, invests wisely, and manages expenses. All three.
It's about targeted action in each area. Recognizing each bucket needs its own seeds, even if the harvest law is universal.
And remembering that season of delay we talked about.
Yeah.
Keep planting in the right bucket, even if you don't see results right away. Be persistent there.
Okay. So planting the right seeds in the right buckets with skill and spirit, giving out of love, where does this all ultimately lead? What's the final harvest?
Well, the book brings it all together beautifully at the end, reflecting on what truly constitutes the ultimate harvest.
What really matters when all's said and done?
The author shares this really personal reflection. He contrasts his big prestigious awards, the Golden Gavel, Serviam, TOYM award, Impressive stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But then he talks about his highest award,
Which was?
that little clay car his sons made him, the one that said, "Best Daddy of the World."
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's powerful.
It really is.
Yeah.
He says point blank, on his deathbed, he won't be clutching those plaques. The real measure of his life, the true abundance, will be the love he cultivated, symbolized by that simple, handmade gift.
So this feels like maybe the deepest nugget of the whole thing. Yes, you've got this power to turn thoughts into things, achieve external success, but the ultimate message seems to be that the real, lasting abundance, what truly counts, is the love you've grown in your relationships, especially family. He even spells out the investment needed, T-I-M-E.
Exactly. Time for his wife, time for his kids. So, yes, turn thoughts into things, absolutely use that power. But the highest purpose, the most valuable harvest, it's using that power to serve and ultimately to love.
Wow. Okay. That really reframes the entire journey, doesn't it? You have this incredible power. The universe works by this law of the harvest, this echo valley.
Right.
And true, deep abundance comes from planting the right seeds, skill, spirit, time, resources in the right buckets, especially giving from love and service.
That sums it up nicely. And the book doesn't just leave you there thinking, okay, great theory.
Right.
It ends with a really practical, simple strategy.
Oh, what's that?
It says, basically, don't just read this or listen to this. The key, his own practice, is to actually write down a list of specific actions based on what you've learned.
Actions, okay.
And then this is crucial. Schedule those actions into your calendar. Treat them like important appointments.
So that's the bridge, from knowing to doing. Knowledge isn't really power until you act on it.
Exactly. Scheduling the steps is how you actually start planting those seeds and activating that law of the harvest in your own life.
Makes sense. Turns theory into reality.
Precisely. It moves it from just an interesting idea to a tangible path towards whatever harvest you're aiming for.
Okay. So, based on this whole deep dive, turning thoughts into things, the law of the harvest, giving, planting in buckets, here's a final thought for you, the listener, to consider. What one specific seed, just one single actionable step, will you commit to planting in one of your life's buckets this week, based on what you've heard today? What one action will you actually take to start or maybe amplify your own harvest?